Children, good morning once again. Again, we are meeting for the civics class. In the last class, we have discussed about the need of the constitution. Why do we need constitution? But today, we are going to discuss about the features of the constitution. I think there is nothing to remind you about the need of the constitution. Now, today I am going to tell you about the features of the constitution. You see, children, we got independence in 1847. Before that, Britishers were ruling us, and Britishers, they have not followed the welfare policies. They, what all things they have done for their own interest. They were exploiting us, and they have taken all our resources from our country to their country. They have not followed the, you can see, justiciable principles. So what happens that our Constituent Assembly thought that we are not going to follow that, you can say, exploitation policies or exploitative policies, that we are going to follow a just policies, and they have tried their best to have a best constitutions. That is so that all the people must be contained. You know very well, in our country there was a lot of diversity. So many castes were there, so many religions were there, so much of ethnicity was there, and in order to contain that ethnicity, they have to frame such a constitution so that everyone must be happy. Do you know there are about 300 members in the Constituent Assembly, and all were highly united. Extraordinary sense of unification was there. Extraordinary sense of unification. They were, what was the unity? To have the best constitution. And of course, sidewise you see in your book, that side picture is there. That is, side picture is that Bhimrao Ambedkar. And Bhimrao Ambedkar, you can say, he included all the Dalit people. For Dalit in sense, I mean, he has hashed a policies for the development of the Dalit. And here you see there is another picture showing a Vallabhbhai Patel, that is working in the Constituent Assembly. He was considered as a Iron Man of India. Iron Man of India means, you can say, at that time there were so many princely states with there, and they have to integrate in one India. They have to join all those princely states in one India, so that they must not be divided. So he has adopted a policies, such a way, so that all must join the country. India was a land of diversity. So many religions were there, so many races were there. So they framed such a constitution, such a constitution, so that all the diversities, all the races, all the religion were contained in that very constitution, so that nobody must be hurted. Now see the features. First feature of a constitution was federalism. There is a word federalism given. Federalism means division of powers between center, between state, between local bodies. Like state, like center is having, you can say, center at the Delhi, and state, you can say, now our state government is at Dehradun, and state is having certain functions that is called in the state list, like police people, like education policies, like for the welfare of the people, like central, like foreign exchange, or you can say international foreign policies and all these things. Those are coming in the central way, and the local, okay, like cleanliness of roads, like electricity. This is a division between central side, state side, local side. Central, like minting of money. Like if a foreign person coming from abroad, that doesn't mean he is going to see the state people. He is going to the central people only. So that is coming power of a center government. Foreign policies, international policies, so many other things, maybe minting money and all this thing. Clear? Not only that, I am giving you one or two examples. That is central power. Division of power between center, state, and then again local government, that is municipalities. Like what happened, you can see today we are facing problems related to virus and all these things. So that doesn't mean center is coming to our state, you can say Bajpur, to spray for all these things. That is municipal people are giving. That is a local government. So power is divided into what? Center, state and local. This is called a federalism. And so that everyone must be contained. Now federalism also you can say have contained, because India is a land of diversity. India is a land of so many languages. Like language wise you can say Marathas people, or you can say central India Hindi regions. So all the languages are also contained. You see so many competitions we are conducting on the having question answers are given different languages and all those things. So everyone is contained. This is called a federalism. So that there must be no disintegration of the country. This is one feature. Now second feature is that you can say, what is second feature is that? What is second feature? Parliamentary form of government. What is second feature? Parliamentary form of government. What is a parliamentary form of government? Parliament word has come from France. That is meaning what? Parlor. Parlor means group of people, member of people sitting in a parlor. Now here parliament means group of people only. Now India is a very vast. That doesn't mean all the people will go and sit there in parliament in Delhi. They will not go. How they are going? We are sending our representative from Bajpur. We are sending one representative MP. I hope you know the name of a MP of a state. One who has gone from this region. Clear? So learn it, find out, and tell me tomorrow who was the MP from here. Clear? That we are sending that person. He is representing us. That is called in Delhi. So that is called a parliamentary form of government. Laws are made there. Parliamentary means group of people. And all the people cannot go and sit there. We are sending our representatives. Whose head is what? You can say head of the majority party, Prime Minister. Understanding or not? This is called a parliamentary form of government. Now again there is other features called separation of powers. Now separation of powers means that is there are three organs of the government. That is executive, legislature and judiciary. Executive means one who executes, one who implements, and legislative means one who make laws, and judiciary means you can say one who looks for both the legislature and executive. Now I'll explain you again. Like in our school, who are executive? Management class is a executive. Or you can say they implement the laws and all those things. And that some supporters they are making the laws, that is called a legislative class. And judiciary means anyone misbehave in the class and all those things. You can say management and all those things, they will look after. That is more or less like judiciary. Legislator, executive and judiciary. Executive means one who executes, one who implements. Officer class, all the bureaucrats class are executive class. And legislative means law making body, one who makes the laws. And judiciary means if something goes wrong, so he will solve the conflict. That is called a division of powers. And another feature is called fundamental rights. What is another feature? Fundamental rights. Now in fundamental rights, these are basic rights of the human beings. Through these basic rights, human being can develop his identity, grow himself. That is, he can come up, understand. That is in fundamental rights, right to speech, right to expression, right to, you can say, express your opinion like press. Understand? Then right to equality is called a cluster of rights. You can appear anywhere, you can take any type of job, you can settle any part of the country. That is called a right to equality. You will not be discriminated on the basis of religion, caste. That is called right to equality. Then you can say right to what's called, then again the next right in this only you can write what's called fundamental right against exploitation. If anybody is exploiting, you can go to the court. That is called right against exploitation. I'll give one example, like you can say small children are not asked to work in the hotels and all these things, and they're getting very less wages. That is one type of exploitation. Or sometimes some rich people are hiring a person and they're giving very less money. So that is called the exploitation. So that person can knock the door of what? Supreme Court. This is also one type of a right. These are called fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are basic rights. What are fundamental rights? Basic rights through which through which human being can develop their identity. They can grow independently in the country. Now, in the last feature, you can say, what is the last feature? It's called secularism. Secularism means all the religion will be contained. No religions are debarred to enjoy all this right. All are having equal right on the basis of religion. All religion are equally treated. You can worship your own religion. You can preach your own religion. But you have no right to raise the voice against another religion. That is called a secularism. I want to say once again, secularism means you can preach your own religion, you can propagate your own ideas, you can worship any god, but provided you must not going to hurt anyone. So in the end, I want to say, see, we have discussed about the features of, you can say, constitution. That is, federalism is there, division of power is there, fundamental rights is there, secularism is there. Clear? So children, read the full chapter once again and note down the question answers. We are going to send you afterwards. Clear? And I am sure if you see this video again and again, you will be able to understand all the features of the constitutions. Thank you so much.